Welcome to another podcast of the Riffle series. The Riffle podcast series brought to you by 10 Leaves.
It's good to be back.
You know, we spent so much time on this show talking about the shiny, innovative parts of the crypto world, the speed, the decentralization, all of it. It sounds great.
Very utopian. Yeah.
But today, I kind of want to flip the coin over.
You want to look at the dark side.
The absolute darkness underneath. Because while one industry is building the future of finance, there's this parallel industry building the future of crime. And I'm not talking about small-time stuff.
No, this is industrial scale, corporate-level operations. Criminals have adapted to the digital age, frankly, faster than a lot of legitimate businesses.
So to help us navigate this, we are doing a deep dive into a really eye-opening report from the United Arab Emirates Financial Intelligence Unit, the UAE-FEU.
Right. It's titled Misuse of Virtual Assets in Financial Crime, Evolving Trends and Risks. Came out in December 2025.
So this is fresh data.
It's very fresh. It covers the period from July 2023 through June 2025. So what we're talking about isn't history, it's what's happening right now.
Okay, so our mission today is to unpack how this all works. Not just the scams, but the actual mechanics behind it all. So what are the big numbers? How bad is it?
The volume is just staggering. Over that 2-year period, the UAE FIU got 2,645 suspicious transaction reports.
Wow.
And get this, that's just from the virtual asset service providers, the crypto exchanges.
So that number doesn't even include the banks flagging things.
Not at all. This is purely the crypto firms raising their hands and saying, something here looks really wrong.
Okay, 2,500 red flags. But is this just more crime because more people are using crypto, or is the crime itself changing?
It's fundamentally shifting, and this, I think, is the most important takeaway. We were seeing the rise of what they call scam as a service.
Scam as a service. I hate that term. It sounds like a tech startup.
It's uncomfortably close. These are organized crime groups, OCGs. They operate like corporations. They have departments, they have scripts, they have customer service.
And the report says fraud is the #1 threat.
By far.
So let's talk about the products. I see the classics, Ponzi schemes, investment schemes, but the report highlights romance baiting, which I think most people know by a different name.
Pig butchering. Yes. It's a horrible name, but it's brutally accurate.
Walk me through it, because it's not just asking for money for a plane ticket, is it?
Oh, not at all. That's amateur hour. Pig butchering is a long con. The whole idea of you just to fatten the pig before the slaughter.
So they build a relationship first.
For weeks, sometimes months.
Yeah.
They build genuine trust. They talk about your dreams, your family. They become a part of your life.
Who has that kind of time?
Someone whose job it is. You have people in call centers managing 50 of these relationships at once. They don't ask for money. Not at first.
They wait.
They wait until the emotional hook is set deep. Then, one day, they casually mention, I've been making some great returns on this crypto platform.
And they offer to help you get started.
Right. They'll help you invest a small amount. And here's the key. They let you withdraw your profits.
Let's prove it's real. That's the fattening.
Exactly. You think, wow, this works. So you put in more, your savings. Maybe you even take out a loan. And then, poof. The platform is gone. The person is gone. The money is gone. It's financially and psychologically devastating.
Just weaponized intimacy. It's terrifying. Then there's the other type of scam mentioned, task scams. This feels less emotional, more transactional.
Yeah, employment and task scams. These target people just looking to make a little extra money. You'll get a message on social media, like these videos, get paid $5.
Sounds easy enough, low risk.
And they'll actually pay you. You'll get $5, maybe $10.
Right.
It works. But then comes the catch. To unlock the really high-paying tasks, the $100 ones, you need to upgrade your account.
There it is.
You have to deposit some of your own money to get the upgrade. You do the tasks, you see your balance on their fake platform go up, but you can never, ever withdraw it.
So they've got all this stolen crypto, millions of dollars. But isn't the blockchain supposed to be a public ledger? Can't you just follow the money?
You can. And that wallet with the stolen funds is absolutely radioactive.
So how do they clean it? How do they cash out without getting caught?
This is where the real art of digital money laundering comes in. The first stop is almost always DeFi, decentralized finance.
Right, because the big exchanges, the Coinbases of the world, they have KYC. They want your passport.
Exactly. Know your customer. DEX, or decentralized exchanges, they don't have a CEO you can call. It's just code. You connect a wallet and you can swap anything for anything else, no questions asked.
But swapping a token doesn't hide the trail, right?
Yeah.
It changes the asset. The transaction is still there.
True. That's just step one. The next phase is what they call layering techniques. And the report points to a really clever one called peel chaining.
Peel chaining. Okay, break that down for me.
Okay, so think of it this way. If you have $1 million in stolen Bitcoin, moving it all at once is a giant flashing red light.
Everyone sees it.
Everyone sees it. So instead, you automate a script that peels off tiny amounts. $1,000 here, $500 there. It sends these small bits to hundreds, sometimes thousands of different wallets.
So you're turning one giant, easy-to-track transaction into 10,000 tiny ones that just look like noise.
Exactly. It's designed to overwhelm and confuse tracking software. The main stash of money keeps moving, getting smaller with each peel. It's a nightmare for an investigator to follow.
That's incredibly complex, but surely there are tools that can spot that kind of pattern.
There are, which is why they add another layer, chain hopping.
Jumping between blockchains.
Right, using things called cross-chain bridges.
Yeah.
If the funds were stolen on the Bitcoin blockchain, the police are watching the Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah.
But if the criminal uses a bridge to move the value over to, say, the Ethereum network or Tron, it's like they've jumped onto a completely different subway system. It forces the investigator to stop, find the right bridge, and then try to pick up the trail on a whole new ledger.
And if they do that a few times,
the trail becomes an absolute maze. And if all else fails, they have the classic tool, mixers.
the digital laundromat.
Put your dirty money in, it gets tumbled around with lots of other people's money, and you get clean money out the other side. The link is broken.
You know, it's interesting. When people think crypto crime, they think Bitcoin. It's the original. But the UAEFIU report says that's not really the case anymore.
Not at all. The overwhelming preference for criminals now is stablecoins.
Specifically USDT Tether and USDC. Now, wait a minute. That seems counterintuitive. Aren't stablecoins centralized? Can't Tether just freeze the funds?
They can, and they do. But criminals are running a business. And what does every business hate more than anything?
I'm going to guess volatility.
Volatility. Exactly. If you steal $100,000, you don't want to wake up tomorrow and find out it's only worth $80,000 because the market dipped. You want the stability of the dollar with the speed of crypto.
So they're betting they can move the money faster than Tether can freeze it.
It's a calculated risk.
Yeah.
And the report points out something else very specific. A preference for the Tron network for these transfers.
Why Tron?
It's just business logic. It's not for privacy. It's because Tron is incredibly cheap and fast. Transaction fees are pennies. If you're doing a peel chain with thousands of transactions, those fees add up on a network like Ethereum. Tron makes it economically viable.
It's all about margins, even for the criminals.
It's all about margins.
Okay, let's move from the theory to reality. The report has some incredible case studies. The one about the student was something else.
Case study 1, yeah.
Yeah.
A perfect example of how digital crime becomes physical. You have a student in the UAE. Nominally, they have no income.
Right, living on a student budget.
Suddenly, their accounts are seeing these huge inflows of crypto, which are traced back to an overseas Ponzi scheme. But they don't just sit on the crypto. They start integrating it.
Meaning they start buying things.
Very expensive things.
Yeah.
Luxury cars, high-end watches, real estate.
So they're turning the dirty crypto into clean physical assets.
Precisely. It shows you that at some point, the money has to hit the real world for them to enjoy it. And that's often where they make a mistake. You can hide on the blockchain, but it's hard to hide a new Lamborghini.
Very true. Then there was the case of Subject A, the unlicensed broker.
Right. This individual owned a digital services company, which is about as vague as you can get.
It's the perfect cover.
And the bank noticed that the amount of money flowing through his accounts was just astronomical. It didn't match his business profile at all. He was essentially running a shadow crypto exchange.
An unofficial money mover.
He was moving funds for people in another country, what they call Country X, to help them get around the formal banking system, a kind of digital hawala system.
And what about the terrorism financing link? That felt different. The amounts were smaller.
That's what makes it so insidious. We're trained to look for multi-million-dollar transfers.
Yeah.
But the report says terrorism financing, or TF, often involves low-value transactions. They use social media for crowdfunding.
A donate to our cause kind of thing.
Exactly. They post a wallet address, often USDT on Tron, for the reasons we discussed, and people send $50, $100. It's microfinancing for terror, and it's much, much harder to detect.
So if you're working at an exchange or a bank, what are you even looking for? What are the actual red flags?
The report lays out a few profiles. Behaviorally, it's the classic mule. You see a young person, maybe 25 to 34, with a low declared income, who suddenly starts moving huge volumes of money.
And the money doesn't stick around.
Right. That's the pass-through account. The funds arrive and are sent out again within minutes. There's no investing, no holding. The account is just a pipe.
I have to bring up one of the technical indicators because it was just so wild. The selfie mismatch.
Oh, this is fascinating. As part of KYC, you have to take a live selfie to prove you match your ID. Well, criminals are generating thousands of fake identities, and sometimes their quality control is sloppy.
What do you mean?
The report details cases where they found multiple accounts, all with different names and different passport numbers, but they all use the exact same selfie photo.
They literally copy-pasted a headshot onto different IDs.
It's a glitch in their fraud factory. They're moving so fast they make mistakes.
And then there's the on-ramp, the card fraud.
A huge one.
Yeah.
Criminals buy stolen credit card numbers online, use them to fund a new account on a crypto exchange, buy crypto, and then immediately move it out.
So they're converting a credit line into an irreversible digital asset.
Exactly. The real card owner eventually does a chargeback, but by then the crypto is long gone, laundered through 5 different wallets. The bank eats the loss.
The report also touches on gambling and piracy.
Right. In places like the UAE, where online gambling is restricted, people use crypto to fund their accounts on foreign betting sites. The bank can't block the merchant if they don't know who the merchant is.
And the same for things like illegal streaming services.
Yeah, those unauthorized IPTV boxes that give you every channel imaginable. A lot of those subscriptions are now paid for in crypto because payment processors like Visa and MasterCard have cracked down on them.
Okay, it's a bleak but incredibly sophisticated picture. What is the regulatory response? What can be done?
Well, the UAE has a very robust framework. You have multiple bodies, the central bank, VARA, in Dubai, others. They're taking it very seriously. But the big global push is for something called the travel rule.
The travel rule. What is that in simple terms?
It basically says that a crypto transaction needs to carry information with it, just like a bank wire does. It needs to say who the sender is and who the receiver is.
That sounds completely logical.
It is. But the big challenge is what's called the sunrise issue.
The sunrise issue.
The sun rises at different times around the world, right? Well, regulations rise at different times, too. The UAE can enforce the travel rule perfectly. But if a criminal sends funds to an exchange in a country where the sun hasn't risen yet, where there are no rules, the data transfer fails.
So the chain of information is broken.
It's broken. And criminals are experts at regulatory arbitrage. They find the dark spots on the map, the jurisdictions that are slow to act, and they operate from there. A global network requires a global solution, and that is incredibly hard to coordinate.
And the report's conclusion is that regulators can't solve this alone.
No, it has to be a public-private partnership. The exchanges have the data, the IP addresses, the transaction patterns. They need to work hand in glove with law enforcement to connect the dots.
So to summarize all this for someone listening, what's the big takeaway?
The takeaway is that the Wild West narrative of crypto is a bit outdated. This isn't chaos. This is a highly professionalized criminal industry that mirrors the legitimate one. And if you're an investor, you have to understand that the entity on the other side of your trade might not be what it seems.
That healthy dose of skepticism is basically a survival tool now.
It's essential. If it looks too good to be true, if a stranger on the internet who seems perfect also has a perfect investment opportunity, just walk away.
Before we go, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. We've talked about all these tools mixers, DEXs, as instruments of crime, but they were created to protect privacy.
And that is the great paradox of privacy. It's the central conflict for the next decade of digital finance. The same tools that an activist in an authoritarian country might use to protect themselves are the exact same tools a scam syndicate uses to launder billions of dollars.
Can you have one without the other?
That is the billion-dollar question. Can we have decentralized finance without also having decentralized crime? Based on this report, the answer, for now, seems to be no. And as a society, we're going to have to decide how much risk we're willing to accept for that freedom.
A heavy thought to end on, but a crucial one. Thank you for this. It was illuminating.
My pleasure.
And thank you to everyone listening to The Riffle. Stay skeptical, stay safe, and we will see you on the next deep dive.
Thank you.